Hello, everybody, and welcome to the second episode of the BB&J Podcast. I'm one of your co-hosts, the aforementioned Jay, this handsome man, although you guys can't see him, and frankly, neither can I because we're doing this only audio, but we all know he's handsome. It's BB. BB, how you doing?
Howdy. I am doing fantastic.
Okay.
Sorry, I had to whisper it because, that's how I'm staying low key,
Well, I do not like ASMR, so I would have gotten off the train at that point. But how have you been? How have you been since our last episode? Tell us. You are
I've
a
been pretty
new
good,
puppy
yeah.
dad. How is that?
Oh yeah. That puppy life out here is it's a little wild, but we're making progress. All right, learning how to go on walks. Potty training is A1. Okay, it is completed. No more messes. Everything is
Good.
Gucci
You know how to use a
on that
toilet.
aspect.
I'm happy.
Yes, I figured it out a few days ago. Other than that, I've just been excited to get back on here. Honestly, I'm really like the I have to say I'm enjoying the feedback we're getting with the new style that we're going for, where we're releasing everything in kind of like waves, in clips, just so we can kind of cater to not everybody likes long form content, which I understand. I'm one of those people. But yep. I like that we can do that, just in case no one wants to stay for the whole thing. That's totally fine. We have segments now. So I feel like this process is just a lot easier, like on both of our ends, right? Like for both of us.
Yeah.
But it's also like more enjoyable, more, just consistent as well.
Same. I was really excited to get back in here and do this. And, really happy to see and hear and listen and read all the feedback we've gotten, because I've received some DMs, and I'm sure you have, and I've seen the comments and all of the views and all of the things and all of the metrics. It was, so the way it works for those of you who are unawares, if you're listening to this right now on Spotify or Podcastle or wherever else we decide to put it, you guys get this first on a Friday. So that we're recording this on, what is this, the 18th? So it'll go up on the 21st. So you get this on the 21st. YouTube then gets some selected segments the following week. And then they get the full episode released on that subsequent Sunday. So the first full episode was just released on the 16th of April, this past Sunday. So YouTube sits with it for a week. And then, so you guys who listen to it here on Spotify or podcast or your toaster or wherever else we put it, you guys are getting the episodes first, but you guys get the full episode. YouTube gets selected clips and then they get the full episode. So it's a way, as you said, to cater to a few different types of people, because there are people who don't like to sit through an hour and a half long of two people, just pontificating on different things. There's people who only have an interest in, for example, the E3 story that we did, or the Dark and Darker story, or something of that nature, and they just want to listen to that. And rather than having to scan through an entire podcast, it's there in segment form on YouTube. So that's the beneficial thing. But I'm excited to do this, and I'm excited for today's episode. We have a new thing we're introducing. Are you excited for that at the end of the episode?
Oh yeah, I'm excited. I'm trying to see, because I say I'm not competitive, but secretly I am. So I'm hoping that I can not rage quit in the middle of a podcast.
Oh my God!
I'm excited for it.
Yeah, so it's a little game we've cooked up. We technically cooked it up last week, and we ironed it out about 10 minutes ago, because we're professionals that way. But yeah, it's a little fun way that we decided we're going to end today's episode with a little friendly competition between BB and myself. And it has to do with video games, and I believe it's unique in its in the way it caters to both of our tastes. But BB, speaking of unique and speaking of catering and tastes, maybe tasteless. Dark and Darker back with a little bit of news, a little bit of an update on the Dark and Darker situation that actually you weren't even aware of until 5 minutes ago because, once again, professionalism.
Yeah, I hadn't even really like heard much about it because I was still kind of like how everyone else was like, it's kind of up in the air, like no one's really had said anything. And I know in their tweet they kind of said that, or the tweet that we saw, they kind of said, like they've been kind of like quiet for a bit. But no, yeah, it's interesting that it's like we got some more news finally like on it.
Yeah, and it's kind of, I'm not gonna lie, my take, this is editorializing, this is just personal kind of sketch, but we'll we'll see. So Dark and Darker as now is becoming in vogue, right? I've noticed this, like everything now has a Discord, which I love Discord, so I'm all for it, but it's becoming like the check out our Twitter account from 15 years ago, right? Like when games started getting Twitter accounts, it was like this new thing and you would go there for information. Now everything has a Discord. And so Dark and Darker has a Discord, and this tweet was posted on April 14th, and credit to Redbeard Flynn for retweeting it, which put it on our radar. But the original tweet was from Force Strategy, and the tweet shows some pictures from their Discord, from the Dark and Darker Discord. And it says that still not allowed back on Steam. This is the tweet, by the way. Still not allowed back on Steam due to ongoing legal issues with Nexon. Dark and Darker developer Iron Mace have announced they are running their own playtest off the platform. To participate, players will have to download the game client via torrent. Thoughts so far before I read I'll read the announcement from the Discord, but what are your thoughts so far on them using torrent as... Because I was always like, that's sketch. Isn't that where you pirate stuff? That's kind of like,
Yeah, I mean, it's commonly known as like stuff like that, right? That's involved with like torrent links. But yeah, that's interesting they're doing that because I don't know, like, is exactly what like the tweet says, right? Like the header, it's like saying, they're still not allowed on Steam yet, right? Yeah. They're still basically out of it, and they're still going on with it. There still is ongoing legal issues. So it's like, it's crazy to me to think that you're continuing, playtest. I mean, you would assume that type of stuff is on pause for however long it needs to be, right? Because I don't know. I just feel like that's just, to me, it just feels like a little too soon, right?
Yeah, that's the thing that kind of gets me. Like, one, we're using torrent. Two, how soon we're doing this. But I kind of, if I'm a Dark and Darker fan, the little glimmer of hope I get from this is like, well, at least they're confident enough in whatever they're approaching this from to keep trying. They're not throwing in the towel immediately. They're working hard. They're going to keep trying. So if I'm a Dark and Darker fan, at least I have that hope in me. But the post on Discord, this is from somebody named Terrence in the Discord. I assume Terrence is some sort of mod or something of that nature. I don't know who Terrence is, but he says, or they say, "Hi, everyone. Thank you for your patience. We apologize for the radio silence. Unfortunately, due to our current situation, we must be careful. Rest assured that we are working around the clock to safeguard the continuance of Dark and Darker. Unfortunately, due to the complexities of our situation, especially across international lines, it is taking time to resolve the Steam situation. In order for us to keep our promise to our fans, we've had to go old school this time. To participate in the Alpha number 5 playtest, please download the game client through our torrent link below." Then it gives a link, and it says in all caps, "Do not get the torrent from any other sources, as we cannot guarantee the integrity of any other links. All future patches will also be distributed in this manner, and you should only get the links from our official Discord announcement channel. Unfortunately, due to compliance with the Korean game rating regulations, we are unable to service this playtest in the Korea region. We are deeply sorry to our fans there, and we'll do our best to include all regions in the future. What is your take on that?
I mean, yeah, I understand. It's like, okay, they're trying to continue the play test because they're still in that like mentality of like, okay, like when the game is supposed to launch, or at least give something to the players, right? But I don't know. It just feels a bit odd. Like I said, I'm not a developer. I'm not a programmer. I don't really know too much about how these things work. Also, keep in mind too, it's like I know that everything has a Discord now, right? And this is like their official Discord and all that. So it's like they're saying, okay, they're emphasizing only play or only download this through our Discord, right? Like through our links.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It just, like you said, it just kind of feel odd. It feels a little odd, like out of place, like for that to continue to happen. Because I mean, like they'll continue these playtests, and then what if something happens? With the ongoing like investigations and the ongoing like legal stuff that's going on. Then it's like, okay, you just added more players and also more coverage on this. Isn't that kind of risking stuff, right?
That's honestly my reading. That is like my biggest concern, or my biggest thought, or my biggest whatever you'd want to call it, is how in the middle of an ongoing legal situation in which one company is claiming that this entire game is built off of stolen files, how can they still run a playtest? How can they still put this out there, legally speaking?
Yeah,
exactly. Is this even is this even legal? And apparently, so like I know it had to do with the ratings, but there's regions that were excluded, and it also seems somebody posted. So the tweet was by Force Strategy on Twitter. Somebody replied to this tweet with another screen cap from, I'm assuming, the Dark and Darker Discord again. It's the same name, Terrence. Once it's adding everybody in the Discord, which if you're not aware of how Discord works, when you at everyone, that means everybody who is a part of the Discord, no matter their roles or whatever, they get a notification. So this is like kind of sounding the horn, if you will, to let everyone know what you're saying. And at everyone, it says the login screen for this playtest was made as a temporary measure and may be confusing. The first time you log into the game, please enter an ID and password to create your account. You'll need to remember that ID and password to access the account in the future. Sorry for the confusion. So apparently, it seems like perhaps the UI changed, the whole, like it just seems like, I don't know, part of me wants to hope that this is just just the rebellious small company saying you can't keep us down. But at the same time, it kind of just feels like, I don't know, it just feels like sketchy. And I mean, it's free. It's a free playtest as far as I understand. I may be wrong on that. Don't quote me. But as far as I know, I could, if I were to be frisky enough, I could get into their Discord and download the torrent link and play the game for free. I think, were they charging on Steam?
No, yeah, like the playtests and everything were all just free playtests. I know they were like dots. I mean, I don't know exactly what their end game was going to be, whether it was going to be a free to play or a paid. I assume it was going to be a paid
right,
like game, maybe not too like like a indie price, like or a double A price, right, where it's not too much in the range, maybe like above $20, right, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
So that's just me thinking that that's what they were going for. They never really mentioned free to play, but it could have been. I'm not too sure, but yeah, I mean, like them describing that, it's just odd. At the end of the day, it's odd. It's just like something that like I don't know if these things happen, right? Like if like with torrent links and everything, I haven't really like gotten into all that. Like the last time I did something like that was like like with like playing games or like that so long ago, where that was kind of like a way to get into betas and stuff, right? versus like having it on a specific platform already, such as Steam.
Yeah.
So it's just weird, and I understand that too. Like I think it's kind of like what you were saying, where it's like oh yeah, they can't stop us from getting to our players and have us continue this journey that we're trying to make. But it just feels like bad timing for it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, and in the end, my ultimate hope, like again, I have no skin in this game because I don't play this game, and it didn't look all that appealing to me as a player. As a viewer, it's fun to watch in Discords or, when somebody streams it or whatever, but it's mostly fun to hang out with people. It's not like, to me, it didn't pique my interest.
Mm-hmm.
It was interesting when I think there was a time you played it and you somehow survived all these odds that you shouldn't have survived. Like little moments like that was fun, but I have no skin in this game because it doesn't interest me in as a player. But I hope, for the sake of the people that do like the game, that something like this doesn't make it worse. Like this doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
In the end, whatever gets whatever turns out to happen, right? Like whatever comes through the legal thing, this isn't used as another thing against them. Like, well, we sent a cease and desist because of DMCA on Steam, and then they went ahead and in defiance or thumbing our nose at the order, went ahead and released a torrent link and blah 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 blah. So therefore, the damages in the end become more punitive. And dark and darker goes dark for good, and so that's just my hope, like that it doesn't happen that way, that it doesn't end up costing them more in the long run. But I assume, this is an assumption, I assume they have some sort of legal department that they cleared it through, or somebody who watched Law and Order a few times and was like, yeah, go ahead. I don't know. It's odd, as you said, but it's a little bit of an update on the dark and darker situation from last week. So yeah, we'll see what happens. If more news comes out between now and the next time we release an episode, we'll do another. We'll touch on it again, but we'll just keep an eye on it and see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, I'm actually interested to see how this turns out. Just because it's like when the whole thing happened in the beginning, where it was like that chain of events, right? Of it, like, oh no, it had DMCA claim. Oh no, it's been taken off of Steam. Oh no, now there's a legal battle, like all this stuff. But then there's like a playtest in the middle of it. It's kind of like, okay, this is kind of turning into something else, right? It's like, it's almost like we're watching like a drama or something unravel, and like we're trying to put the pieces together of like how this plot will end, like to see like what will actually happen. But I mean, look, like if everything's going good for them, then okay, cool. Like they're still trying to have their player base taken care of with the game, and having them be able to play the game, because I know there's a lot of people who've played it. I mean, it was a super popular game in the few days that it was out, or the few playtests that were out. Like I mean, it goes back to like when I first found out about it, I was like, oh man, this looks interesting. Like it's like a not looter shooter, but like an extraction shooter, except medieval style, right? Where like you're with swords or arrows.
From Hogwarts is what I called it.
Yeah, and you had the wizard stuff. It was just kind of like really interesting the way that it was going about. So I don't know. I mean, we'll see. Like I'm interested to see what happens after this. Are we gonna get? Are they gonna have like? Are the playtests gonna be smooth? Right, like where nothing is there's nothing said about it. Where it's like, okay, yeah, they can continue playtests as long as all this stuff's happening. Or are we gonna see something where it's like, oh, nope, no more playtests because so and so happened, right?
Yeah,
guess we'll have to wait and find out on this one.
To be continued on that.
But other news,
I am kind of giddy at getting to talk about this. I've said this to you when we were doing our pre, like when we were getting stuff together. I am so happy isn't the right word, but like, okay, so if anybody who's listening watched the old BB&J show when we used to do this on YouTube, I had two themes that I continuously spoke about. One was I beat the crap out of Halo Infinite.
Oof, yep, I remember those.
And two, I talked about how much I hated Fortnite for its deceptive practices.
Yeah.
And it just so happens that I was correct. Halo does suck, but also Fortnite. I was proven correct. This is about a month old, actually a month and a day, because today's the 18th. March 17th article from CBS Austin. Fortnite developer fined $245 million for letting kids, quote, rack up charges without parent consent. This should be parental, but whatever. The article says, from the FTC, Fortnite's counterintuitive, inconsistent, and confusing button configuration led players to incur unwanted charges based on the press of a single button, according to the FTC. The company also made it easy for children to make purchases while playing Fortnite without requiring any parental consent. According to the FTC's complaint, Epic, the developer of Fortnite, also locked the accounts of customers who disputed unauthorized charges with their credit card company, notes the FTC. So, what I've been saying, my biggest problem with Fortnite is not that it's a battle royale shooter. I don't like battle royales, fine, whatever. That's not my problem with them. My problem with them has always been their scummy targeting of children, and now it turns out I've never played the game. So I didn't know this. This wasn't part. I just could see the visuals and see what they were targeting, who they were targeting. It turns out that not only did they target kids, but they made it, their UI is apparently really confusing and really screwy so that kids could easily rack up thousands of dollars in charges. I mean, just fuck you, Fortnite. Like, just with like a rusty cactus. Just fuck you, Fortnite, horribly.
Oh my God.
And anybody who looks like you, I hate your children. It's just, I'm so like, I feel vindicated. Like Stewie said in that one episode with Brian, I feel right, Brian. I feel right. Like, I feel like this is just what I've saw from the outside. I was able to see this from the outside without even ever playing it. Had I seen it and had I seen the UI, I would have raged even more. And I'm glad, like, don't get me wrong, $245 million to a company that makes $1 billion every other day is not going to really make that big of a difference. To me, where this is more significant is that it's like, it's out there. You know, it's out there that they are this scummy. It's not just a guy ranting on the internet or a few people complaining here and there. They've been forced to pay a fine by the federal government because of their scummy practices, and good for them for being forced to pay something because they fucking suck. What are your thoughts, BB?
I mean, yeah, it's just messed up. No, like I'm with you on that. Yeah, like the practices that they're doing with the, like the V-Bucks and setting up the UI to kind of make it easier for, like, children to kind of go in there and just buy stuff without even knowing that they're spending like all this money. I mean, yeah, that's definitely something that's just terrible. It's horrible that they've practiced that. And I mean, like, going over like the article and everything, it's like, it's just crazy though. Like, you're right, that amount of money, I mean, to that huge corporation, it's like kind of like, it's just kind of like, okay, sure, we'll do this, you know what I mean? Like, it's not, it's like affecting, well, I mean, I don't know, I don't really know how their finances work, but I'm sure like that's almost nothing, because like they were talking about in the article with CBS, where it was saying, like, just like an example of like the in-game purchases that like what they make off of it, which was like, if for an instance was like when they had like NFL themed like skins, Looks like it was about in 2021, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Just off of that alone, they made over like 50 million on the sales, which is, so just like, come on, like just on that small event, and the game's been around for like how long,
Yeah.
um and I know they like, it's kind of like other companies, they try to, okay, let's lower the prices, let's do this, let's do that, but at the same time, I mean, you've already done the damage. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I understand you trying to like, I like, you can see that and be like, okay, at least they're trying. I'll give them that. At least they're trying, like, blah blah blah, right? But like, no, I mean, it's still there. Like, it's already tainted.
Yeah.
Like, you've already kind of shown your true hands, right? And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean, I'll say, like, I've played Fortnite a few times with friends and everything. I mean, have I fallen into the feedback stuff? I mean, hell yeah. They done got me. But me as an adult, I know what I'm getting into. You know what I mean? Like, I know what this is. I know how much it's going to be. Like, all that. Like, this and this fact, and I've seen it too. Like, I mean, we've all people who play Fortnite. Like, at least, I mean, recently I'm not too sure, but like, I know, like, they'll put like the V-Bucks stuff in the front, or they'll put like the oh, get this skin, and it does kind of get to the point where you're like, oh man, that looks so cool, let me get that, like, so it's like, oh man, it's just tough, like, seeing this go down. Like, I'm like, you know what, it's a win in a way. It may
Yeah.
be a small one, but it's a win at the end of the day.
Yeah. And, thank God they didn't put up a Leon skin or something. They really would have got you.
Oh, wow.
Um,
I think they did, actually, when I was looking, because they, like, sometimes I'll get like emails of like Fortnite new skins or whatever, and it's like, what?
oh my God, you get emails?
Yeah,
Wow.
because
This is the final BB&J show, by the way, just so you know.
It's because it's like, because I have an Epic Games account, so
I
it's
do
not
too. I don't
necessarily
think I get
because
emails
it's
from Fortnite.
Fortnite, but I think it's probably because I played Fortnite. I don't know, because
Yeah.
like, it'll sometimes say like what's new in the Epic store and stuff like that, and then it'll drop the collaboration of, like, whatever. That's how they got me with damn freaking My Hero Academia skin. Okay.
You know what I get that really annoys me? I get those pop-ups on the desktop, like when something's free in the Epic store. It'll
Oh
pop
yeah.
up on the bottom right hand side, and sometimes I'll be like in the middle of something, it'll pop up, and I end up accidentally clicking, and it opens
It's
up.
like, now you
It
gotta
just annoys me.
load that damn thing. Yeah.
Yeah. A side note: fuck Epic. I don't like Epic. I'll take their free shit, but I don't like Epic. They, like, they just
Yeah.
they can go take a long walk off a short pier.
Yeah, especially their store. Like, that store feels like something out of like the early 2000s or something. Like, geez, like, can you, like, the fact that they're still like updating the store to be more user friendly is like, geez, come on.
That store, God, don't get me started. We'll have to do, you know what? One of the episodes what you're gonna do, we'll talk about it afterwards, is launchers, because
Oh yeah, that would be a
every
good one.
its own launcher, it makes my wee hurt. But one good thing from reading from the CBS article, so the FTC alleges that Epic used a pattern of quote dark patterns. I'm assuming it's not like Jedi mind control. I'm assuming what they mean is UI, and different types of ways and different types of, practices. But one of the things that's in this order is not only do they have to pay the fine, but it prohibits Epic from charging customers through the use of dark patterns, or from otherwise charging customers without obtaining their affirmative consent. So one of the things I heard that was an issue was that once you sort of stored payment or bought something once, it was sort of a press of a button to buy something again. So you could, the first time they asked you your consent or something like that, and then subsequent times it was a press of a button without, like, are you sure about this? Like, are you sure you want to pay this? So I think that's part of the problem. So they have to change that. And apparently it stops Epic from locking customers out of their own accounts over disputed charges, which, again, scummy fucking practices. Like, oh, you want to dispute that? Well, you're screwed. There goes your account. So, like, things like that, they just drive me up a wall, because it's like, I'm not against, shock as this may seem, I'm not against microtransactions. I think pay to win sucks, right? Like, I don't think that's the way you should go about it. But cosmetics, look, if you want to sell skins for 5, 10, whatever a pop, go for it. I don't care. Like, it doesn't bother me. What bothers me is like when you could, buy an accelerator, or you can buy a gun that does something that other guns don't, or you can buy certain things that gives you a competitive advantage. That bothers me. But I always look at I'm not a fan of battle royale shooters, but I played a lot of it, Apex, in 2019 because I had a friend who really played it. So me, her, and her cousin would play it a lot, and I spent a grand total of $0 in Apex Legends, and my experience was no less than theirs. Like, I never got the battle pass. At the time that I stopped playing, I was able to unlock every legend. I had a good time. We won some games. Like, it was never a matter of like, oh man, we would have won if I had that whatever. So like, and they charge for cosmetics, and I'm like, fine, you want to charge for cosmetics? If you have an extra however much money and you want to go out and buy a skin that makes, some character's ass look 10 times better or what, not yourself. I don't care. Like that, whatever, right? Like, and I get it. Developers are going to do it because it's a way to make money. And if people are going to spend the money, then, people are going to spend the money. But what really irks me is when it's done deceptively. Like, it's like when there's a politician. It's like, if you have your idea, argue your idea. Don't lie to people and try to manipulate them into believing whatever it is you believe. Argue your idea. Yeah. Argue your idea on the merits of your idea. Like, same thing with games. You want to make money? Fine. Make money on the merit of the content in your game. Don't try to screw people out of their money underhandedly. So, once again, fuck you, Fortnite.
Well, damn. You heard it here.
any closing thoughts on the Fortnite FTC
no,
situation?
I think you kind of summed it up pretty well. Or at least let everyone know how you really feel.
In case you didn't know, I said fuck you, Fortnite.
Oh god. No, but yeah, that sucks. In the end of the day, man, I get you.
It sucks for the people that were scammed.
Yeah, like it does suck. It does suck, and it's very like we're seeing the practice like done in like a lot of like those free to play games. That's the thing that's kind of sucks about free to play, where it's like a lot of people are always going to kind of like have that in the back of their minds of like free to play. Oh, okay, well, microtransactions are going to be like either super expensive or sometimes just like make you feel like they're a bunch of scams. And I don't know. Hopefully there's a better layout out there soon, or they'll learn from this, which I doubt it. But I know they're going to have to like change certain things, but they'll probably still have like the same concept,
I'm pretty sure, unfortunately, what'll come from this is a new way, a new type of dark pattern, a new type of way to scam people, I'm sure, because old habits die hard. So, unfortunately, there's going to be people who fall for it, and, it's not always their fault. Sometimes people buy things, and you know what? You buy things and you whatever. That's like, hey, listen, you can't complain that if your Leon skin in the Division 2 was ass, you paid $5 for it. That's not. What's a scam is when people use underhanded practices, and it sucks for the people who's out of money, who had to go through all of this, who had to deal with all of these sorts of practices and annoyances and all of that stuff. But at least there's some resolution on that, and you know, hopefully this sends a message to other types of games in this sort of vein to not do that, or to look, if you want to make money on your game, make money on the merits of the content in your game. I will support that.
Exactly,
even if I think it's a hokey game, I will support you trying to make money on the content, on the merits of the content in your game. Don't scam people. End of the day.
But in other news,
yes, BB.
in actual good news.
Yes, this is actually good news. The last one was just me gloating news, but this is actually good news. BB, have you seen this movie?
I have not. I want to. I really, really want to. I've heard, like, I will say, like, the audience score. Like, I'm not someone who. By the way, we're talking about the Super Mario Bros. Movie, in case anyone didn't know. And how well it's been doing in the box office, like well as in like breaking records and all these things, and possibly like helping with the video game movie curses and whatnot that's been out for a while. But I'll say that I haven't seen the movie. When I look at like reviews and everything, the most common one is going to be like Rotten Tomatoes, right? That like most people use. And I know they have like the critic score, and then they have like the audience score. And I was seeing that like it's kind of like the audience is pretty like liking it. They're liking it a lot. Critics, however, they're kind of like saying, critics will be critics, but I don't really have high hopes for this movie, as in the fact of like, it's Super Mario. Like, I'm not someone who really grew up playing Super Mario. So for other people, that's probably why it's awesome, because it's like, we're finally getting an animated, film of the Mario Bros. And
this is my wheelhouse. Like people of my age is wheelhouse more than I would say. Although there's like the thing about Mario is like I feel like. And just so before anybody, I'm from New York, okay, and it's Mario. Don't miss with Mario.
Yeah,
Mario. Okay,
it's Mario. Okay,
Mario, not Mario. No, Mario. Anyway, no, I haven't seen the movie. I don't really go to theaters. I have asthma, and look, just because people are pretending things are back to normal, we still technically are in a global pandemic. It's an airborne virus, and I'm not too keen on locking myself in a movie theater with complete strangers. So I will watch it when it's streaming at some point, which I'm sure will be on something somewhere. I know there was a lot of people that was like, oh, it's Chris Pratt, or it's Pratt, right? Not Pine. Because we had this before.
Yeah, Chris Pratt is this Chris for this week's episode.
Yeah, that's the Chris for this week. I know a lot of people were kind of like, all up in arms about him, and they smartly, I feel like in the trailer, I don't think they let Mario speak much. I think in the trailer, Mario uttered maybe 2 or 3 words, and it was all the people around him talking. But what got me, what I really enjoyed is because my brother, as I said in the last episode, like in our gaming origin sort of thing, my brother started me in gaming. I watched him play Sonic. Well, one of the things that he grew up playing was Mario on the Super Nintendo and all of that stuff. So when I was a little older, I ended up getting my hands on a Super Nintendo with Super Mario All-Stars, and I watched him play through it. And when we saw some of the trailers for the Super Mario movie, I was heartened to see some of the things from those games represented in the movie. I believe it was like training in Mushroom Kingdom or something was how the trailer tried to show it, but I saw things that was like, oh, that's the whatever from that game, and that's the whatever from, the dungeon and all of that stuff. So like I was kind of like, okay, they're doing good fan service to people who played the older games. Now, I'm sure if you played Super Mario Sunshine or Super Mario Universe or Super Mario whatever, I'm sure there's things in there for you as well. I just don't recognize them because I've never played them. But I think that's probably what the success of this movie is that it's like we talked about with the D&D movie. This is clearly people who respect the license.
Yeah.
And you have some numbers on how well this movie's doing. I was shocked to learn one of the you have the specific number that it's done. It opened. When did it release? Do we know exactly?
So it released on the 5th of this
5th
month.
of April.
So
that's 13 days, not even 2 weeks. In not even 2 weeks, it has grossed so much money, and where it places on the list of highest grossing video game film adaptations, I was blown away. So I'll let you go through all of that sort of stuff.
I mean, it came out on the 5th, and so far globally, this is like the global box office. It has made over 678 million. So it's still rising because we're going on. It was on the
wife said.
Oh my god!
I knew one of those was going to get into one of these episodes.
Damn it! I was hoping. I was like, but no, yeah. It's just it's crazy. To think about. I'm like, wow, a video game movie, and I know that like Super Mario is like, it means a lot to a lot of people. You know, it's one of those franchises where it's like it's been around for like ever. And every time there's like a new property, people, get happy, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, heck yeah, more Mario." I've never really connected like that with Mario. I think I've played maybe 1 or 2 games. I don't know. But I mean, it's cool. Like I've seen a lot of people play it, and then it does look cool. And I think the biggest thing for me here, and this is just for me because since I'm not, I don't really have like the nostalgia factor. It's like how it looks. It looks amazing. Like, Illumination did a freaking fantastic job with this, and you could tell that they cared about the world. As you said, you noticed things that you saw in previous games or whatnot. Like the only thing that I would say that they showed in the trailers is not spoilers, but they showed like the Mario Kart section. I was like, okay, that's cool. So they're like catering to like all the different like, I guess, universes or games that have come out, right? And just to let you know, Jack Black as Bowser is a perfect choice. So I can already say that there's like a few points already for the movie just because of Jack Black. Because he gets into character in most of his movies. So
he's a pretty. I don't know about Mario specifically, but I'm pretty sure he's like a video game nerd. And
Yeah. He had I think he still has it, like a gaming channel where he like played like a bunch of games and But I'm sure he likes the Mario.
He was in his own game, was he not?
I mean, yeah, exactly, yeah, true.
So, I mean,
but as far as the rankings go, because Jay and I were like looking like, oh, okay, like where's this game gonna be at, right? And I remember I was looking at it in the aspect of all time, like movies, like animated films, I guess, right? Not necessarily video game movies, but I was looking at animated films, and it was like somewhere around like the 20s, right? Like I think it was like the actual number might have been 27, but it was somewhere in the 20s. So I was like, oh, okay, it's still going, it's gonna get some traction. But then we realized we were looking at animated films in general and not like video game adaptations,
right?
And I was actually like surprised about it because the last time I checked, the last time I checked, I thought it was like Detective Pikachu. I was thinking it was between Detective Pikachu and Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which I freaking loved. That movie was so good. But no, we found out that the Super Mario Bros. Movie is actually reached number 1. That is crazy.
Already within 13 days.
Number 1 at a little over, I think now like the actual number might be higher than what I said before, which was like 678 million. The one in the rankings shows 698 million, and we were reading another article where they were saying that this could be a property that's going to go towards like the billions, at least like theater wise, right? Like box office. And I mean, I'm not surprised. I mean, like, if we look at the top 10 movies, and number 10, I actually had no idea what it was at first. I was like, I had told Jay, like, what the hell even is this? Number 10 is Resident Evil: The Final Chapter. But then I remembered what terrible ass like live actions they were. Like, I get it. Like, if they didn't say Resident Evil on it, I think they would be decent popcorn flicks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like the fact that they're Resident Evil and they made like their whole universe and everything, and then they actually like made it seem like the characters that are actually in the game are like spin-off characters. It's like, no, they are the main characters. Your character is the spin-off or original or whatever. But that's number 10. And number 9 is Sonic the Hedgehog, which it saved itself because you remember when they released that first first trailer, and everybody's like, what the heck is this?
People were not feeling that first trailer for
people like Sonic the Mole Rat or something like that. Like that, it was like, it looked so weird. It was so weird. But that's at number 9. Then this movie, I don't think I've actually even seen it. The Prince of Persia movie, they made a live action movie of that.
I've seen trailers. I haven't seen the movie.
That's at number 8. We had the Angry Birds movie. That was actually kind of funny. I remember watching that. At 7. At number 6, another disappointment in my opinion. All right, I don't care what anybody says, but the Uncharted movie. There was just so many directions they could have gone with it, like casting Nathan Filoni or Fallon.
Nathan Felony, you know, the guy that's in prison.
Yeah, Nathan Felony, okay, as Drake will always be like, it will always hurt that the fact that there's a YouTube special out there with him being Drake and not in the actual movie.
Which is probably better than the movie.
Oh, definitely. But that's at number 6. I can understand it. Uncharted, beloved franchise. A lot of people love it. Mm-hmm. Sonic the Hedgehog 2. So that's already a record there. 2 movies from the same franchise are in the top 10. So it's Sonic the Hedgehog. The first one was at 9, and Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is at 5. So it's in the top 5 of live action / animated films. Which again was awesome. I loved it. Rampage, I don't even know what that is.
Rampage.
Do you remember?
Rampage. Yes,
Rampage. Okay.
I saw it. It's Rampage was an arcade game from the 80s. And this one, I see it here and I'm kind of like, because it's like the game and then what became the movie, like it's The Rock. It's The Rock.
Oh,
you know. Okay. Like Rampage is, don't get me wrong, I've never played the game, so I have no tie to the game. So I don't know how closely, from what I understand, it's not really all that close. It's basically, I don't know if you ever seen the trailers, BB. It's basically Rock is like so. Rock is a zoologist of some sort. He works at a zoo, and some sort of of course, it's The Rock doing something, and like some alien thing lands. He's like friends with a gorilla, and some alien. Something from an alien spaceship or something lands in the gorilla's pen, and the gorilla messes with it or something, and all of a sudden now the gorilla grows to like ginormous sizes. What? Yeah, I'm probably butchering this. I'm probably butchering the synopsis, but there's also like other giant animals that also, because like I think like a meteor, some sort of meteor broke up over the Earth atmosphere, and it like all landed. So different animals got it, and the gorilla goes on a rampage, or all the animals go on a rampage in the city. And of course, Rock is able to calm the gorilla and work with it, and you know, it's like they take out the other animals, and I will say the cast is pretty, like Jeffrey Dean Morgan is in it. Okay. You know, and there's a few others that are in it.
Have to look at it just to see, because
it's not a bad movie. I will say it's The Rock does X. Like it's not. It's like it's literally San Andreas, but with a gorilla, kind of. You know.
Oh like, my god.
It's not like this like massive tour de force of cinema or anything of that nature.
Yeah.
But it's pretty decent for what it is. It's not bad. I did enjoy the movie. I can't speak to how closely they stuck to the franchise of the game.
Gotcha. Okay, interesting. So I'm gonna have to actually look into that one and see, because that one is at number 4. Number 3, we have Pokemon Detective Pikachu, which is another movie I adore. I freaking love that movie. Ryan Reynolds as Detective Pikachu is just, for some reason, just fits so well. It was perfect. That one was really, really good. Which is another it's in the top 3, so that's a Nintendo product there. Number 2 is gonna be Warcraft. I believe that's based off like the World of Warcraft or whatever, because it's from Blizzard Entertainment. But these, like, if we look at all of them, at least the top 10, they're averaging around 300,000 to like a little over 400 300 million to 400 million, like a little bit, let's say an average of 450 million, right? Worldwide, the worldwide gross. The Super Mario one is already beating all of them entirely. Like, it's not even like,
it's not even close. You know, that's the thing.
Exactly. That's crazy.
That's the thing, because the Warcraft movie sits at 439 million. Super Mario in 13 days grossed over 200. Almost, now we're approaching, I'm pretty sure by now, probably more than $300 million more than that. And that is within just 13 days. It's going to have a much longer run in theaters.
Oh, yeah. And it definitely is, dude.
I mean,
it definitely is.
This is just, I'm happy because I'm a Mario fan. You know, like, I like the fact that, and I'm also happy that we're finally getting good video game movies. Because the thing is that even though it's on this list of highest grossing video movies based on video game, the Resident Evil franchise movies were just absolute hot dog water. Like, the thing is like, it's like you said, if they took off the Resident Evil name and was just like, hey, you know, it's whatever,
like, they could have even just been like
Lady in Apocalypse Survivor or something.
Virus Survivor or some shit like that.
Exactly. It would have been, you know, wouldn't have been that bad. But I mean, you scroll down this list, so the list is up of 50. It's a top 50 of this list, and if you scroll down this list, I mean, there are just some absolute fucking four-finger stinkers in this damn list. You know,
I mean, even if you look at it, even the Super Mario Bros. Movie, which I haven't seen, but the live action one, that one is number 46.
Listen, I forget the guy's name. I know it's John Leguizamo, and let me look it up. Bob Hoskins. I rip Bob Hoskins, great actor, but man, that movie was rough. That movie was rough. I'll watch it with you one of these days, and we'll give a review on this.
You know what's so funny about that is that we don't have the exact day that it peaked, but the original one, at least the first live action Super Mario, did peak at number 1 at one point. You know, at one point it was the number 1 movie, which says, like, damn, okay.
Yeah, it's tough. 1993 was a tough year, but I mean, like, the thing, like, Doom is number 36 on this list.
That was pretty gross too.
Yeah,
I mean, like I will say that movie had some cool, like, sequences, but at least as far as, like, story and, like, I don't know, just anything making any sense, it was not good.
You have the Max Payne movie in here at number 29. So you, like, and then you have, like, 22 through basically through 10 is littered with a lot of Resident Evils movies.
Yeah.
You know, and then that Need for Speed, absolute, again, four fingers.
Oh my God. Yeah.
You know, like, so that's what I mean. Like, it's, yes, they grossed good numbers, but they were just absolute atrocious. Like, I don't know what the people got who made the movie, but they should have gotten 5 to 10 in a state pen. Because good Lord. But yeah,
those are hard watches.
I'm happy that the movie is successful and it's quality at least. Like, you look at this top 10 list or even the top 5 list, the Sonic the Hedgehog movie was, from my understanding, well made. Rampage, again, it's The Rock, does X, but it was still, at least as far as a movie that is made, that was enjoyable. It was a good movie. I didn't see Detective Pikachu. I heard it was really good. Warcraft, again, I think somebody I follow on Discord or Twitter or something said they just watched it. They're a World of Warcraft fan, and they're actually kind of disappointed that they didn't get another one. So apparently the movie was at least serviceable. So, you got good quality movies. And again, these movies, the top 5 movies, no earlier than 2016. So this top 5 list is all within the last 7 years. So I think what ended up happening is that the people who loved video games, grew up playing video games, they grew up and they make movies now and they respect these franchises. Because in the top 10, the only one that probably kind of was a bit of a stinker, not going to say it was a complete stinker, it was maybe a little bit of a stinker because I don't remember much about this movie, it was the Prince of Persia movie, and that one was 2010. So nothing in the top 10 goes back further than 2010, and there's only one. Most of them, every other movie goes to 2016 is as far back as they go, and that's the Angry Birds movie. So everything is lately within the last 7 to 9 years. So that just says to me that we're, when you talk about the video game movie curse, that's more of a thing of the past because you're seeing movies that are now being treated with the respect that they deserve, in terms of like, this is a video game property. This is not just, oh, yeah, that Super Mario thing is selling. Let's just throw John Leguizamo and Bob Hoskins together and drop some acid and then make a movie. And, fuck it, they'll like it. It's like, no, this is how Super Mario works. This is the worlds. These are the games. This is the characters. This is the motivations of these characters. Like, and it makes for a good movie.
I mean, yeah, they are definitely taking care of these franchises. Finally, they're putting a lot more care into it. And I mean, hopefully we continue to see this. I mean, with the success of this being the number one movie and one of like the oldest franchises, right, that have been out there.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they're going in a good direction. I'm sure 100% after this, like there's so many things they could do with it. By seeing the success of it, like, there's so many other games that Super Mario games in general that could benefit from it, right? I mean, you got. Mm-hmm. I remember I was listening to an interview where Charlie Day, which is the one who voice acts Luigi in this movie, would love to do a Luigi's Mansion movie. It's like that would be awesome, going into like the horror elements of Super Mario. So like, there's so many possibilities, but also it's like shining a light to other video game, franchises of saying, hey, look, it's possible with the right team and good writers and people who actually care about what they're doing, and care for the license. Like you can make something really, really good, which is I hope they do with Resident Evil at some point, because I feel like we need a redemption arc from all those things that came out in the past.
Ooh, yeah.
But that might be a tough one because.
Yeah, that's just. It's just. There are some games that. I also think that, like, I think now people are probably being a little more selective in what they do in terms of like video game, like what video game we're going to make, like I think Doom is a perfect example. Like Doom is not a bad game or Doom is not a bad property, but I feel like it's probably not as easily adaptable to a film as people would think because it's a first person game, like it's kind of hard to really do. So I think I'll tell you, I'm kind of glad we never got a Halo movie. Like if we,
I mean,
seeing that fucking Halo series, don't get me started. But I'm talking about like when we were supposed to get a Halo movie back in like 2009, 2010. We were supposed to supposedly get a Halo movie. I'm so glad we didn't. I can't tell you how happy now that didn't happen, because by God, that would have just been...
I mean, like a Doom movie would be awesome with the Doom guy. Like the thing is that I think there's standards when it comes to movies, like at least like directors or the film industry in general, right? That they want or they think that needs to happen. But like if you did a Doom movie, it would be something actually pretty easy. There's so many movies out there nowadays where they're so really good at, like, you know, character designs and everything, right? But the problem here is that they don't, like, here, you know, a perfect example of it, and it's not necessarily the same kind of thing, but it kind of is in a way. Remember that it's like John Wick. The John Wick movies are literally just action movies, but like nonstop action movies, right? Like Keanu Reeves has like how many lines in the damn movie? Probably like 5, maybe 10. Like, you know what I mean? So like he barely talks, but you're there to see Keanu Reeves be John Wick and be badass, right? So it's like it works. You can see that it works. I mean, so many people are hyped for the new John Wick, or actually it already released and it was doing very well in the box office too. To the fact that now they're doing like spin-offs and considering doing a 5th one, like all this stuff. But my point is, like, you could easily do a Doom movie by just making a protagonist, you know, like the Doom guy. Maybe have, if you really want to add dialogue, 1 or 2 cheesy one-liners, but like that just goes and beats the hell out of freaking demons in hell. Like, you know, like it's easy to do that if you wanted to do it in that aspect.
You could. The thing with Doom is, like, I feel like it's a first person, because it's a first person thing. I feel like it's hard for it. There's going to be people, like, you have to nail it. Like, you can't, like, the protagonist, the Doom guy, like, we know he exists, but we don't see him. And when we do see him, it's very rare, right? Like, it's not like something it's not like we constantly are seeing him over and over and over again. So, like, I feel like it would have to thread such a needle in terms of, like
the newest Dooms are really good at, like, showing you who the Doom guy is. Not necessarily as in, like, his face or anything like that, but I'm saying like he's part of the story. Like, you understand that you are the Doom guy. Yeah. Like, this is the Doom guy. So it's like, it's definitely like if they wanted to go that route, they could, you know, where it's like go with the modern version of Doom, where he's just like nonstop, just punching everything in his way, like with one punch and just causing chaos. But I get what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it would be perfect, but
it's possible.
It just wasn't what we got. You know what I mean? Like what we got during that time was not close to the what we should have gotten. You know, like what we should have, or what everyone was expecting.
You mean to tell me that The Rock as a Doom guy is not what you were?
I mean, well, that's the thing, though. Is like, I don't even know if he was the Doom guy, because the main character was technically Carl Urban. That was, from what I remember,
wasn't he?
Yeah, and he was awesome in that movie. But like, again, it was just, he was awesome. Everything else was kind of shit. Like,
didn't they try to have a really bad, like, fourth wall break where The Rock? Spoilers for this movie. You'll thank me, but if you wanted to watch this movie, I guess mute for the next, I don't know, however long. But where, like, Rock was, spoiler alert in 3, 2, 1, where The Rock was about to be killed or something, and he's like, "I'm not supposed to die," or some shit. Like that.
It was some weird shit. Like, he was trying to say like he's like the main character or something like that. I don't know. It was so cringe, like. But yeah, I don't know. It's a possibility. Look, like, it's a possibility to do so many things and do it justice. I think at the end of the day, it just depends on whoever is either making this film or taking care of it. actually shows that they care, you know, and not just be like, oh yeah, people like that, let's just make a movie, you know, like, no, that's not why we like it. We like it because of, you know, these things that are happening in it, whether it's the character, the story, the plot, you know, everything. It's not just the title that we like, it's the actual what happens in. And I think that that's what confuses a lot of people when they make video game movies, such as we go back to Resident Evil. Like, I'm pretty sure whoever made that was just like, oh yeah, people like Resident Evil, let's make a movie, and then not even include, or at least make it make sense, you know. Like,
yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, we'll see how high Super Mario is able to soar. Maybe I'll put his little raccoon hat on from Super Mario 3.
Yeah, I'll try to see if I can watch it. Maybe next time, next episode, I'll probably give
us a little,
you know,
thoughts.
but it'll be a review off of someone who's, like I said, I'm not super fan of like Mario because I didn't really grow up playing it, but I mean, I know it's loved by a lot of people, and I think at the end of the day, if you have fun, you know, and if it's a fun movie, then I'm sure that's why it's, you know, getting so much praise.
Exactly. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll just stay tuned. Put a pin in it. But now we've come to our special segment of the show. It is something that I cooked up in my mad mind, and I went over it with BB, and BB contributed, and we now have a system in place. It is the guessing game. I'm going to explain it for all of those out there listening. It is basically, so BB hates a stronger. BB does not like retro games that much. He's playing, quote unquote, through Doom, the 1993 version on his stream right now. And
yep.
The look on his face when he realized he couldn't look up, aim down sights, or jump. Magic. Just chef's kiss. Now, I'm considerably older than BB. I'm older generation. I played all of these kinds of games. I've played, GoldenEye and all these other things where sprinting and jumping and all of the things that people take for granted in video games wasn't a thing. So we decided to test each other's knowledge of our respective genres. So we each picked 5 games, and because BB is more of a modern day player, I've picked 5 games from the PS3 on era, and BB's picked 5 games from this sort of retro category. And we're going to read we're going to mention the systems that the game came out on, and we're going to read a brief overview of the game, or in some cases for BB will sort of give me a little bit of descriptor, or however he feels. Basically describe the game, and the other person has to guess the name and the year it came out. And it's 1 point for each, so it's 5 games that we have to guess, so it's 10 total points, and whoever gets the most points at the end will be the winner of the guessing game. So I asked BB beforehand who wanted to go first, and he volunteered to go first. So I'm going to start. BB, are you ready?
Yes, I'm going to get all of them right.
Okay. You know what? I'm going to start off with an easy one for you. I'm going to start off with a very easy one, because I'm pretty sure you're going to know this. All right. You might, okay. The year might trip you up. I think the year might trip you up, because even for a lot of the games that I really like, I don't know the year off the top of my head. So we'll see. So this game was released for Microsoft Windows, PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and the Mac OS. So in that era of games. Okay, so here's a little bit of a A little bit of an overview. Set in contemporary Hong Kong, the story follows martial artist and undercover police officer who infiltrates the Sun On Yi Triad organization. Gameplay focuses on the main character's martial arts moves, fighting, shooting, and parkour abilities, and gadgets that can be used for combat and exploration. Players must complete missions to unlock content and continue the story, but they may instead freely roam the game's open world environment and engage in both legal and criminal activities. The latter may incite a police response, the intensity of which is controlled by a system. Actions such as fighting, driving, and racing grant the main character statistical rewards and earn the player achievements.
Ooh.
Do you know the game?
I think I actually know this one.
I think you do too.
I'm confident in it. I hope I get it right. Okay. But is it Sleeping Dogs?
It is indeed.
Yes.
For the title. I told you one.
Let's go.
One was going to be a layup. Starting easy.
All right. Nice.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Do you remember the year?
Oof. I don't remember the year. What was the year?
2012.
Wow. So long ago.
That's why I said
it was over 10 years ago. Wow.
Yeah.
Holy crap. I feel like I played that not too long ago, but it's been so long.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's why I was kind of like...
You see, those graphics are acceptable, but, I don't know. Anything below that, fucking hell.
Okay. Yeah, so that's... All right, so far, 1 of 2 points that you could have gotten, you've gotten. So congratulations on guessing the name. All right, so this next game released on the PlayStation 3, the Xbox 360, and Windows. So, all right. And the synopsis, where is it? Goes as this. Players assume the role of Native American Space Marine who is part of a team sent to a remote planet to apprehend a criminal. The Marine's former commanding officer, who is now a wanted war criminal. After crash landing, the Marine discovers that the planet is home to all manner of dinosaurs and must fight both the predatory creatures and the general's private army on his mission to take down his former mentor.
God.
By the way, I had to editorialize because the main character's name is the title of the game. So if at any point it sounds a little awkward, it's because the main character's title.
I think I know already. I think I already know.
What is it?
I think it was a series of games, right? But I don't like a franchise.
Yes and no. Yes and no.
Is it because you got me when you said like kind of like dino. You said dinos, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is it what is it called? Turok.
Yeah. Yes. That's the name. You got the name. So what's the year?
Yes. Oh damn. I don't know, bro. Like 2006.
Oof. So close. So close. 2008.
Ah.
2008.
Oh my God. I only remember that because once you said dinos in space, I was like, oh yeah, I remember this. I used to play this on with my brother. We used to play this damn game. Oh my God. Wow. So long ago. 2008? Holy crap.
The main character's name is John Turok. So it's like, I
didn't even know that.
I can't really. Yeah, but if I had said John Turok, it'd be like, well, gee, I wonder if it's Turok, All right.
Ooh, okay, two so far.
So out of a potential 4 points, you have 2, and I think the years are going to really trip us up because it's like, good luck finding the year, right?
Yeah.
All right. So this one is a little bit, I'd say probably less well known. It is released solely on the Xbox 360. So it was an Xbox 360 exclusive.
Okay.
The story follows a protagonist, a bounty hunter working with her father and a computer hacker, as she joins an institute agency to prevent a rival corporation from gaining possession of an ancient artifact which endows individuals with superhuman powers. Any of that sound familiar? This one's a little bit of a niche one. This one I think is the hardest one of the 5 that I picked out.
Dang. I feel like it sounds familiar, but no, yeah, towards the end you kind of lost me. No, yeah, I don't know this one. What is this one?
This is Perfect Dark.
Oh,
from 2005.
No. 2005.
Xbox. I was like,
that was hard. That was hard. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, this one is probably the hardest one. I was like, is this too like old? You know, like is this? When I was like, it's 360, Xbox 360, that counts. So, you know, you that's why you got hit with the Perfect Dark. So, all right. So, of a potential 6 points, now BB has 3. So, let's move on. We still have 2 more games to go.
Okay.
All right. This one released for Microsoft Windows and PlayStation 4. So let's see. The game's story is told through lengthy full-motion video sequences, some of which feature live-action actors inserted between the gameplay sequences. It features a protagonist reflected by having most of the events told through a specific story style. I can't really tell you exactly how, because then it'll give it away, I believe. But it's a very unique title. The story was told through a very, very unique way. And I'll give you a hint because the description was a little vague, so I'll give you a better hint. Angry Joe did cover this. It was not a well-received game, and this was covered by Angry Joe. It got kind of a bit of a rant from him. So I know you're an Angry Joe fan as much as I am. I'm pretty sure you saw the review on this game.
Dang, but I feel like I know it.
I think you would. I think if you don't guess the title, I think I will. When I say it, you'll be like, "Oh God, yeah, I know."
Okay, yeah. I can't know. Yeah, I missed this one too.
Any guess on the year? You want to guess a year?
2009.
Oof. On the PlayStation 4 in 2009.
Oh, PS4. You did say PS4. Sorry. Wait.
You want to tell us about a hack?
2015. 2016.
Close, much closer, but no, 2018. It's The Quiet Man.
Oh!
Yes.
Jeez, I know what you're talking about.
See, because the description is like,
God,
the sound was muted, and if I was like, the sound
I
was muted,
didn't know the name of the. I didn't remember the name of it, but yes, now that you say it, I do remember that rant that he went on.
Yeah. So, all right.
My God.
And finally, the last game, and I think you might get this because, again, culturally, I think it probably would have been a game that maybe you would have given a try. I think I Perfect Dark probably wouldn't have given too much a try. I think this might have at least crossed your radar. You might have been at a GameStop and maybe you saw the cover and be like, "Yeah, this looks interesting." So I think you might know it because of that. So it released on the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360. The game follows the title character, a demigod, as he seeks revenge on the pantheon of other demigods who betrayed him. The story is presented in the style and format of an episodic series of cinematic scenes, including opening and closing credits, with the gameplay being integrated into the cinematic, where players switch between third-person combat and interactive sequences with the player input in the form of quick-time event button prompts. Because of its unique style, the game has been described in the media as, quote, interactive anime.
Ah, interactive anime. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, and you go through third person too? What?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I'm so terrible at like remembering descriptions. Like,
it's a mixture. The players switch between third-person combat and interactive sequences with quick-time events.
damn, no, I don't know. I don't know.
Any guess on the year? It shares a year with one of the other games on this list. That'll be a hint I'll give you. It shares a year.
What system was it again?
PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360.
Oh, so 2008.
Close, but no.
2012, damn it.
The game is Azura's Wrath.
Azura's Wrath. I don't think I ever played that one.
It was
Azura's
I don't know.
Wrath.
I don't remember if Angry Joe covered it. Probably not, because I think this probably was before he was doing reviews and everything. But yeah, Azura's Wrath. It's a unique title. It's all right. So
oh my god,
let's tally up the points here. Let me do my calculations. Let's do our little math. Let me break out my abacus. So a total of 10 points.
oh my
You've gotten 2. You got the name of Sleeping Dogs and Turok. That's not bad. I think you might do better than me, because I probably am not going to know anything of what you say, because I'm bad with. I like retro games, but they were at an era when I just wasn't paying attention to shit. So we'll see how I do on these. But whenever you're ready, you can start firing it up.
All right. I feel like this one might be easy, just because I don't know. Okay, let's start with this one. I'm trying to go easy like you kind of do. I mean, it wasn't easy, but like I just remembered when, like, as soon as you were going more further in, I was like, oh yeah, I know what
these weren't dark, obscure games that I picked. I think is the thing. Like they weren't like this niche bargain bin. Like studio only ever put this game out. Like you'd never heard of it before. Like I think the games that I said were notable for one reason or another. Either they were Four Fingers Thinkers or, whatever or else. But go on.
Okay. All right. Let's see. All right. So, damn, this kind of sucks because I don't want to say the name. I mean, the name is the name of the game as well.
You can read around it however you can, like protagonist, main character, whatever you need to do.
All right. So the protagonist, the story follows the protagonist as he aims to foil. Damn, that might give it away, but whatever. Cortex's plans for world domination and rescuing his girlfriend. It was created by Cortex, and the game is played in a third-person perspective in which the camera is behind the protagonist as they go through levels that featured forward-scrolling and side-scrolling perspectives. And I can tell you what it was released on, right?
Yeah.
Okay, released on PlayStation.
Okay, I'm going to say, because I had this as a kid on my PlayStation 1. When I got a PlayStation, I got it for Christmas of 2000. I'm going to say it's a Crash Bandicoot.
Damn, yeah. Okay.
I'm going to say, okay, I'll go with Crash Bandicoot.
What are you year?
I will guess 1998.
Ooh, so close, bro. You were so close.
Don't tell me it's
1996. No, 1996.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'll take that. All right.
Oh my god. Yeah, 1996. But damn, I mean, I feel like that was the easiest one here because like most people know. I think what was it for you that kind of gave it away? Was it Cortex or was it the third like side scrolling, like the camera behind?
It was the rescuing his girlfriend from Cortex.
Okay.
It was like I didn't know Cortex. Like I don't remember his name. Like,
the name? Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I just remember he looked like a weird dude. But I do remember that in one of the Crash Bandicoots, or maybe not all of them, he was rescuing his girlfriend from the antagonist. So like, okay, that has to be that.
Okay, sweet. All right, so there you go. You got the first one. All right.
Okay.
Let's go with the different one here. All right, let me pull this one up. All right, so this one is all right. So it's a series of side-scrolling beat 'em up franchise, right? And it basically you are in the center of a fictional large American city, and you are an ex-cop. Well, actually, an ex-cop vigilante, right? Going through the city and basically trying to take down a corrupted syndicate or crime syndicate. While you help the local government, and it was released for Sega.
So the only side-scrolling beat 'em up that I know is Streets of Rage.
Damn, that was easy too, huh?
And this is the only one I know of. Like, I'm sure there are others, but that's like the only one that I know off the top of my head.
Now, do you know the year though?
I'm gonna say 1994.
Oh, nope. Streets of Rage released for Sega on 1991.
Oof.
Ooh, that was close though. You almost had it.
I'm in the ballpark. All right. So far, our first two games went similar. We guessed the name, didn't get the
year. Yeah. Doing good. Okay. All right. Sweet. All right. So one out of two for the first two. So 2 points so far. Pretty good. Okay. This one is, I mean, you'll probably be mad because I call it a retro game, but it's not really. But this is a Western themed game, right? And it was an action role playing game that included side missions. Well, it was an innovation to side missions, and the player controlled the protagonist from a third person perspective as well. And basically, you would do side missions to improve your player stats as you progress through the story for revenge. And the player could also purchase upgrades using money obtained from optional activities by mining gold. And you would just go through town to town doing, fighting off bandits, and also hunting animals.
And what system was this released on?
And this was released on PlayStation 2, Xbox, GameCube, and 360. So I guess it was released in 360.
But it was themed?
Yeah, it's a Western themed game. Third person action RPG Western themed game that released for consoles. For those consoles.
I have no earthly idea on the game, but I'm going to guess the year because the game.
Okay, the year.
No idea. I was like, because I was like, wait, is he really reading Red Dead Redemption, the first one? That's not retro.
No.
I'm gonna say the year is 2004.
You missed it by a year, bro. 2005.
I was thinking 2005, but
and the game is called Gun.
Oh,
that was the game.
I've heard.
You remember that?
Yeah,
I picked it because I remember we talked about it a while back about Western games, and I remembered. I was like, oh yeah, I wonder if he remembers this game. But yeah, that is Gun, released in 2005.
So close.
I think I remember this was like the introduction. Like, I mean, I knew about like Western and stuff, but like that was like the first like Western style shooter I ever played in for PlayStation 2. And then the almighty Red Dead Redemption came out.
Yeah, Red Dead Redemption's amazing. Shout out to Red Dead Redemption.
Hell yeah. Okay, all right. So you didn't get that one. So right now we're still tied.
We still are tied.
All right, so we got 2 games left. All right, so this next one is let me make sure I pull it up. All right. So this is a survival horror game. First installment of the series, right? And basically it follows Harry Mason as he searches for his missing adopted daughter in a fictional American town, stumbling upon a cult and trying to do a ritual, which they try to do rituals to revive deities and that they worship. You go through the game and you discover the origins of this town, and depending on what you did, you could get a different ending. This was released for PlayStation.
Ooh. You see, my first thought was going to be Silent Hill, but that one was his wife, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's good. And is the Bumkiss on the name. I'm gonna say year was 1998.
Jay, you're gonna be so mad because you're gonna be so mad, bro.
Is it 1999?
It's not only is it 1999, but the game is Silent Hill.
Oh, God.
Yo.
I thought he was looking for his wife. I thought okay, well.
Yo. Oh my God.
It all comes down to this. It all comes down.
Oh my God. You literally, I was going to say, oh my God, but you were saying that I think, but it's not because of this.
Yeah, no. Mm-hmm.
Oh man. Okay, well. and then you missed it by 1 year. Oh, that's tough. All right, this one I feel like I enjoyed this. This is cool. Okay, let's see with this one. I feel like I didn't even know this existed, but I think maybe you do. I'll explain why at the end, but okay. So this is also start of a series, and this is at the time it was named as, or basically the game was kind of like a chasing game, like a racing and chasing, which the player controlled a police officer pursuing criminals. That's basically how it originated, right? And then later on they made it to where it was a oh, sorry, hold on. Wait, where did the description go? Huh. Okay, there we go. But it basically was made up of between 3 main cities that you can interact with, and they were all basically kind of like based off cities that were real, but they're, in the game they're fake or they're made up, right? But it has a linear progression, and as you go through the levels, you progress and you further down through the story, and you sorry, it's just like it's not. I thought I had like put the whole description of this, but but I mean that's basically it. Like that's what it is, yeah. And it released on PlayStation.
I'm gonna say this is Driver.
Nope.
No. Okay. I'm gonna say the year.
Wait. Actually, hold on. Let me read you something else real quick. I'm gonna redo this one just because that was what it was originally supposed to be. Okay. I read it wrong. That's what I did. See, this was confusing to me because this one I didn't know this was what this was. But okay, so originally that's what it was supposed to be, right? You were like chasing criminals, but it ended up being into development. They switched it to a criminal who is climbing the status, who's trying to climb the status in the criminal underworld across 3 fictional cities that are inspired by real life locations. And it was a top down perspective that takes place in an open world environment, and the player was required to like do missions in order to progress through the levels.
Okay, so here's the thing. I'm gonna make a guess, and I'm fairly certain as to what it is. But I also remember, like, I'm kind of shaky because I remember the game having actual named cities. It may be fictionalized versions of the cities, I'm guessing, or something. But I'm going to go with the original Grand Theft Auto.
Damn. Yeah.
Okay. And
That's it. You got it.
The year is 1997.
1997. The year is 1997. Oh my gosh. You got both of them.
There we go.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So, because I remembered, I think the thing about that, one of the fun factoids about Grand Theft Auto was that when it started, I believe it was a bug that the police would chase you or something like that, and so they switched it to being a criminal from the criminal perspective because it was supposed to be from the cops. But in the original Grand Theft Auto, you do London, New York, and I forget what the other one is. But Driver also, Driver also was like that. Driver was, you go to New York, Chicago, Miami, and I forget wherever else. So like that threw me off. That's why I said Driver. I'm like, you're a cop, Driver. But yeah, that was fun. This worked out more entertaining and more engaging than I thought it did. I hope that the people who were listening thought so as well. I enjoyed the shit out of this.
Yeah, this is actually really, really fun.
Yeah, and obviously this isn't something we're going to do every single episode. We'll break it out. You know, maybe every other episode should be like a once a month thing. But this has been the guessing game. And BB, good job, well played, and
yeah, good job to you. You got this time you got what? It was a total of 4 points. Yes. Look at you. You're able to do the comeback, and the last one you actually got it. You could have had 5 points.
Oh, God, don't remind me.
But
that last one could have been gravy. Instead, that last one was the game. But that, you know what, is more cinematic that way. But yeah, definitely. that was the second episode of the BB&J Show Podcast. BB, how are you feeling?
I feel good. I enjoyed it. This was a good episode.
This was a lot of fun. Thank you everybody who's listening. If you listen to this first on Podcastle, and all the other places, your toaster oven, your fridge, your bathroom faucet, wherever else we decide to put it up, you can listen to segments of this on our YouTube channel if you don't want to re-listen to the whole thing, or if you want to re-listen to the whole thing on YouTube, it'll be up on the 30th of April. BB, this has been amazing. I look forward to our third episode, which will release 2 Fridays from this week, which will be in May at some point. And thank you for doing this with me.
Yeah, thank you, Jay. Thank you for having me. This is always fun, man. I appreciate you.
Was indeed. And thank you everybody for listening. And we'll see you, or well, you won't see us, and we won't see you, but you'll hear us on the next episode. Take care. For BB, I'm Jay. This has been the BB&J Show Podcast. We'll see you next time.